Jacksonville.
Here come that tail in black, baby. Duval with the 88th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Khalid Ransom, DB, Tulane. With the 89th pick in the 2005 Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Wyatt Milam, guard, West Virginia.
When you see me out there on the field, you're going to see someone that loves the game of football, someone that enjoys it. They're going to play through the whistle, they're going to give everything they got, and they're not going to let anyone touch Trevor Lawrence. And I'm going to make that promise to them, and I'm going to make that promise to Trevor.
With the 104th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Bashal Tootin, running back, Virginia Tech.
How about speed for Liam Cohen.
Hand off Tootin, breaks a tackle. He could go. Bashal Tootin, 55-yard house call.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Fat Tony's got the week off. I'll have the week off next week. That's then. This is now. Good morning, Mike Dempsey, Dylan Denmark here with you. What is up, young man? How are you?
I have a great idea for a T-shirt.
Oh, T-shirt.
We'll put Bashal Tootin on the front, and on the back it's okay. Let's go Tootin.
Let's go Tootin. Gotcha. And it's gonna. What is it gonna be? His picture on the front? I feel like the music ended abruptly.
Yeah,
there.
I don't know what happened there.
All right. Just making sure it wasn't just me. It's all of us collectively here. Bashal, let's go Tootin, huh?
Yeah, he's got to have a good year, but I think we should make that happen.
I told you about my great sports marketing branding idea that I had. Did I, like in junior high? I
did not know about that.
I used to draw this logo of a basketball going through a hoop, and the ball would be at the point you'd have a couple of lines, showing the flight of the ball. And at the bottom, the ball would be kind of in the bottom of the net, snapping the net right there. And the brand is called Gone Swishin'. I'm telling you, it's just waiting for somebody to make tens of millions of dollars. Just waiting. I've thrown it out there. Nobody's taking me up on it. I'll get no credit for it at this point. But I used to draw that logo. I don't know how I came up. I just would draw it over and over and over again instead of doing actual work back in the day. So what is it? We're going Tootin' or
let's go Tootin'?
Let's go Tootin'.
Or rooting for Tootin'?
Rooting for Tootin', yeah.
Something like that.
Bashal is spatial. That's probably not going to.
That's
probably not going to work.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to have to sound it out and it's
a lot of syllables.
Right. By the time you figure it out, it's the moment is gone. That kind of thing. All right. We will probably not come up with great marketing ideas because it appears we don't have many this morning here between myself and young Dylan Denmark. But we are ready to talk Jaguar football with you in all of its many forms. And really, Dylan, today, focusing on the defensive side of the ball, not only for the Jags, but throughout the division with Houston, Tennessee, Indianapolis. Where do they all fit in compared to the Jags, much like we did on Monday? Now, as far as the question of the day, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate, I think the polls are it'll be interesting. They were not as lopsided as they were Monday. It's weird. We strung 5 polls together on Monday. We had quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line. Today we're doing edge rusher, defensive tackle, linebacker, safety, corner. And Monday, the Jags won all the polls but the offensive line because Jag fans, follow the account and they are, I felt like a little bit of homering up there. But you can do that if you want to. So be it. Dylan and I are going to go through all the position groups and compare them to their peers and rivals in the AFC South and see where the Jags, in our opinion, stack up. Let me just ask you, without exposing what category, do you have the Jaguars as the top team in any categories? And if so, how many?
No, I do not have any Jaguar.
Not a single one.
Not one. No,
I actually have one. And maybe that'll be controversial. We'll see how we all debate it. But I think the one where Jag fans are going to give them the most love is obviously the edge rusher position, right? You got Josh Hines-Allen. You got Trayvon Walker. You got Emmanuel Ogbah in the room as well. Rounding things out, we hope giving you that a half dozen sacks or who knows, maybe more. I'm not going to stop you, Ogbah. If you want to get 10 this year, you go out and do it. Smoot's back. Dennis Gardeck Would you count Gardeck more as a linebacker or an edge rusher?
I mean, he's a linebacker. I think that plays edge. I would consider more of an edge.
Yeah, I would consider him in the edge category too, right? Because he's probably going to be a sub-package guy if he makes his football team. And that's part of it too, Dylan. I went through, I really heavily leaned on the starters and maybe the first line of depth at a lot of these spots because there's a lot of projecting you need to do. A lot of guys that have changed teams, obviously, some of them within the division. So we'll get to all that. But ESPN has been doing their summer series, pre-training camp, where they break down all the different position groups in the National Football League. And not as a group, but as individuals. They've already, what did they do? They did D tackles yesterday.
Did a running back Monday?
Running back was Monday. Yes, running back was Monday. Jags did not show up they do a top 10, they do an honorable mention, and then they do an others receiving votes, which if you read them just straight down the line in the order that they list them, that will tell you where they came in the voting process. And I will jump right to the spoiler right here. The Jags did not get either of their edge rushers in the top 10 at their position in the National Football League. And, I'm not going to quibble with the guys at the top. They are established, multi-year, year after year, show up and get it done at a high level. And you can say, well, the Jags have, Trayvon Walker's had back-to-back 10-sack seasons. Well, a lot of these guys are in that category, or maybe their high end is way above 10. Myles Garrett, the highest-ranked guy, he was ranked number 1 last year. He threw up 14 sacks. He keeps his spot. I don't know is he 1, is he 2, is he 3? He's certainly in the conversation. Nobody's going to quibble with Myles Garrett. TJ Watt was ranked 2nd last year. He comes in 2nd this year as well from the Pittsburgh Steelers, trying to get a new deal done that it's going to be interesting. Tom Pelissero at NFL Media, Dylan, says that he thinks the final result will be that TJ Watt does reset the market at the edge rush position. I feel like Pittsburgh's kind of, I don't know, lowballing is the right way to go because I don't really know. It's just the sense you have that this is dragged out, which is a little odd considering the Steelers seem to be an all-in win this year mode, right? I mean, you get Aaron Rodgers in there. You know he's probably only going to be there for the short term. You make that trade for Jalen Ramsey. You add Jonnu Smith. It feels like they're loading up for a run in, with the exception of Cleveland, a pretty loaded division, but that's their problem. TJ Watt does come in at number 2. Micah Parsons held his spot with the number 3 ranking, same ranking that he had last year. 126 pressures, 31% pass rush win rate since 2023, lead the NFL, right? So it's not all about pressures and pass rush win rates. Sacks do matter, but Micah Parsons, top 3 guy. Max Crosby, who, by the way, I think you saw Patrick Mahomes called him the best pass rusher he's ever played against, which is probably smart because you face him twice a year.
Yeah, you don't want to say anything bad about him.
Right? I mean, it's not like now, is Nick Bonito of Denver going, wait a minute? Maybe, but there can only be one. Crosby actually moved up a spot from 5 to 4 in this year's rankings and took the spot of Nick Bosa, who fell 1 spot to 5. The way they describe it is Jeremy Fowler doing it. And Jeremy Fowler, he's been around the block, man. He probably has as much love for Urban Meyer as we do around these parts. You remember that
Yes.
video back in the day?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That really was like Jeremy's intro to the national scene, right? And then the next thing you knew, he was covering the NFL and doing all this stuff. So good for him. So Nick Bosa comes in at 5. Fowler describes him. He says Bosa is an eye test pass rusher. What does that mean? I mean, just looks like he's a pass rusher, or when you see him, he's very disruptive. But anyway, 19.5 sacks the last 2 years represent mild production for a top 5 guy, but his disruption is obvious. I feel like this is the first one that I'm kind of like, all right. I mean, but production doesn't matter. He had 19.5 sacks over the last 2 years. Josh Hines-Allen had 17.5 in one of those 2 years alone. So anyway, Nick Bosa comes in at 5. Trey Hendrickson, who led with 17.5 sacks, his second consecutive season with that number, comes in at number 6. He moves up from number 9, okay? Aiden Hutchinson, we always compare him to Trayvon Walker because of where they went in proximity in the draft. Last year ranked 6th, this year ranked 7. Maybe because I guess he missed a bunch. I mean, he was motoring. He was destroyed. He had like 6.5 sacks, something like that, in less than 6 games, I believe it was last year. It was fantastic. Off to a great start. His pass rush win rate of 35% was the tops in the National Football League. We'll get to the guy who was behind him in a minute. Here's the problem. In the division, you got Will Anderson of the Texans. Last year was an honorable mention. This year he comes in number 8, Dylan. His teammate, Danielle Hunter, he was the second guy in pass rush win rate. And so he comes in at number 9. He was 8th last year, so pretty much holding steady. Danielle Hunter quietly putting together a Hall of Fame resume. When you look at his, total numbers throughout his career, he had 12 sacks last year. Career sacks for Danielle Hunter, over or under 100?
How long has he played?
8,
Just
9
roughly.
years, something like that.
I would say just under, but since you asked, it would probably be over.
It is just under. It's 99.5.
Okay.
You should have gone with your instinct. I thought that was.
I was never a good test taker.
That was a fair over-under right there, 99.5. It was right on the line. So he comes in at number 9. Again, these are the top, according to ESPN, top 10 edge rushers in the league. And then this is a little bit much, I thought. Jared Verse, I mean, he's a very strong run defender. He had 4.5 sacks last year. I feel like this is more of a projection, but this is, this is not just going on Fowler. I think this is going on voting around the National Football League. So he came in at number 10, regardless. Some of that is recency bias probably because he did win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Regardless, honorable mentions. Well, surely the Jaguar duo falls in the honorable mention category. Brian Burns of the New York Giants, the aforementioned Nick Bonito of Denver, Jonathan Grenard of the Minnesota Vikings, and George Karlaftis of the Kansas City Chiefs. So finally we get to others receiving votes. So those are 14 names off the board. Josh Hines-Allen, the first in the also receiving votes category, so count him as 15. Then you had Khalil Mack, Rashawn Gary, and then Trayvon Walker. So according to this piece over at ESPN, the way it's seen around the league is that Josh Hines-Allen is your 15th best edge player, and Trayvon Walker is your 18th best. And again, this is a survey of league executives, coaches, scouts that put this ranking together. It's not just Jeremy Fowler going, this is what I think, right? Then that's more easy to pick apart. This is league-wide consensus. So you've got that out there in terms of how people are viewing it. And you could argue that this is the strongest position on the Jacksonville Jaguars. You could also make the argument that if you're talking individually, Brian Thomas Jr. has the best chance to finish in the top 10 of this category. I'll say, do you think Brian Thomas Jr. makes the top 10 when the wide receiver rankings come out?
For ESPN?
Yes, for this league-wide vote of executives and all that stuff that goes with it.
I'd say yes.
I'm going to say no. I think he's going to be like honorable mention guy.
I think he gets in barely at 10.
Let's see. You'll have, off the top of my head, right? Chase, obviously, Jefferson, CD Lamb, Puka. Mm-hmm. What about Nico Collins? Right? I mean, he was leading the league in receiving last year. Tyreek Hill at this stage, maybe not. What about Mike Evans? Like guys like that, like you might not take him over Brian Thomas in a fantasy draft, but will they get that credit? You got Amon-Ra. I mean, there are a lot of guys out there. I know I haven't named 10, but Devontae Adams,
Drake London.
I don't know if Drake London, but he might.
He had 1,200 yards a year ago.
He did, right? But it's taken him a while. Like
Malik Neighbors,
another one, right? I mean, you're not going to see Marvin Harrison Jr. in there, but I don't know, man. I think my guess, because some of it is the out of sight, out of mind Jaguar bias. It's not even intentional. I think it's possible that I'm going to say he's ending up in the honorable mention category. Usually 4 or 5 of them fit in there, and then you got the others receiving votes. I think he'll do better than that. But regardless, we got what we got, and we'll break it down. How do we see the edge rush position? We'll lead off with that one today. We've got 5 polls out there. You can play along and participate if you want. 1-click polls or not, for that matter. But you can find those out there on Twitter. You can hit us up today, as always, at 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. YouTube Virtual Studio. Hop in there. watch the show that way. You can join the chat there, post questions, thoughts, comments, what have you. You can stream us on Twitter and Facebook, and, of course, find us on Twitter at MD_1010XL and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
All right. You looking for? We got a little golf weekend coming up. Have you checked the forecast at all?
It's rain 50% every day.
Dang it.
Till the next weekend.
I will say this. When I was on my way home yesterday, the forecast called for pretty solid look at thunderstorms around 2 o'clock. So I'm like, man, I got to get those steps in right away. I got home, changed into my Mr. Rogers workout gear, and never got if we got a drop, it came like later in the evening. So you never know with those things, man. But all right, we're ready to roll. You know the ways you can interact with the program today. We'll go through all the defensive positions. Got a lot more in the chamber as well today. We'll see what we're able to get to. MJD ranked all 31 RB1s, the top guy on your list. And I was right, Dylan, because I knew he had such a thing for Omarion Hampton during the process. He ranks him as the top rookie running back ahead of Ashton Genty. Imagine if the Jags had drafted Genty. How many heads would be exploding in Duval right now if MJD didn't rank him as the top rookie running back? But he's been consistent on that. He loves Omarion Hampton. Is Omarion Hampton even the lead back with the L.A. Chargers?
Probably not to start.
I don't know if he is, right? And MJD is rolling with him as his guy in this. He's got him 13th in the league. I'm like you. I'm not sure he starts, at least in the beginning of the year. I think they got a plan for Najee Harris. You don't sign him, I don't think, unless you plan on using him. I don't think they are going to just try to feature Hampton. I think that's going to be a two-back attack there for offensive coordinator Greg Roman with the L.A. Chargers. Regardless, we're not going to really focus on the offense too much today, but we may get to that piece. Also, biggest remaining need for every AFC team. What does CBS Sports think the Jaguars' biggest need is? That's according to Josh Edwards. That is not polled around the league. That is just his personal opinion. We may touch on that today as well. So a lot to get into. Glad you're along with us. Mike Dempsey, Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
If you were to look up professional football's all-time bonehead plays, you might read about
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Sometimes a man has to be big enough to see how small he is.
Mornings on 1010XL.
he's a genius.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Their hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Coming soon, Pine Royale, a fully illuminated synthetic par 3 course built for day or night play. Plus a driving range with TrackMan Tech for virtual courses and interactive games. Mini golf, restaurant, and bar all in one place. Whether you're a serious golfer or just here for good vibes and great food, Pine Royale brings fun nonstop. Smash a burger, a bucket of balls, and even a night round under the lights. Grab your clubs, your crew, and your short game. Pine Royale is coming soon off I-295. Learn more at pineroyale.cc.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. ET here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to, and it should be yours too. Online at kuhnflowers.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
When it comes to my opinion, I love dropping the hammer. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at kiaonatlantic.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Maxed out on credit card, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
1010XL is a proud supporter of this year's Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament, the largest fundraiser for marine charities. To join the fun July 10th through 19th at the Jim King Park and Boat Ramp, go to kingfishtournament.com.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
That is what we are, who we are. Jaguars Today, Mike Dempsey, usually Tony Smith, oftentimes a cast of other characters. We'll get that cast back in here about a month from now, Dylan. It'll be sooner rather than later now, coming up rapidly with the preseason approaching, training camp and all that, a couple weeks away. It is that time. Got that apply for credentials email to, I hope I don't get turned down, Dylan. I would, man, can you imagine? Like, I am on your pre and post game show.
Someone made a major oops.
Can I please come and watch a couple of these open practices?
Yeah,
but
it's not like Leon when he wanted to apply for the Florida-Miami game and it was in Orlando a couple years ago, and someone told him that they were sold out for credentials on the sideline and he had to go StubHub.
Oh, wow.
So I will never forget that.
Well, I guess they can have a limit to how many people you can have on the sideline, you know, and there is a limit to how much media you can fit in any given circumstance. I'm kidding. By the way, Jags have been great to me. I've never had an issue credential-wise or anything else with them, so I'm not really worried about it. But I do like the schedule. I do like starting at 8:30 in the morning. Much better than starting at, say, 9:30 or 10, where unless we're doing the show out there, and we're hopeful we're going to be able to do a few training camp shows out at the Miller Electric Center this year and have a bird's eye view. But to get out there at 8:30, at least for an hour and 15 minutes or so, and hustle back over the bridge and make it into 1010XL and go from there. So all that coming up. Eyes will be on this defense. Will we show significant improvement? Need to? Anthony Campanile?
I mean, can we be any worse?
Everything's good right now. You can always be worse, bro. You might not rank worse, but you can always. I mean, it'd be hard. I'd be hard pressed to imagine they won't create more turnovers than last year, right? Nine for the entire season, like one half a game, basically, on average, just a smidge over that. Like, how many games will it take the Jaguars defense to produce 9 turnovers this year? What do you think?
I'd probably say, just guessing, like 14, 15 games.
That many?
That's at worst case scenario.
Oh, I'd thinking
probably
like
say probably closer to 10 or 11.
Golly, man. I'm going to have to look again and see what the total turnovers by offense were last year to make sure that, because I feel like you should be able to get that in like 6 or 7 games, really. And I bet that's close to the league average. So let's say if you did 9 in 6 games, that's 1.5 a game. So you're talking about 17, you're talking about 25-ish for the year. That's not crazy exorbitant. Turnovers by NFL offense. This has got to be an easier way to Google this. Maybe not. Maybe that'll work. Let's see what I come up with here. I know we're just looking at this. Most turnovers in the league in 2024 was 34. I don't trust that site StatMuse. You know the one I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Something about that site feels like it's not authoritative, right? Let's see. Defense turnover stats by team.
So I got takeaways.
Okay.
Minnesota, Pittsburgh at 33. Tied at first. Buffalo 32. Green Bay 31.
Give me who's at like 16 in the league, middle of the pack.
Last year, 16 was Miami. 15 was the New York Giants. 13 was the Raiders. And that's the bottom 5.
When I say 16, I mean who is ranked 16th?
Ranked 16th,
yeah,
okay.
like give me the number of turnovers right around the middle of the pack.
The Falcons last year had 18 takeaways.
Okay.
Rams had 20. The Chiefs had 20.
That's middle of the pack.
Seahawks had 18. Yeah. Tampa
all right, so
had
maybe
18.
then my saying you get 1.5 a game would put you above middle of the pack. Still wouldn't mind it, by the way. What was the most turnovers created last year?
Minnesota and Pittsburgh had 33.
33. All right. So 25 is probably asking a lot from a team that only produced 9 last year. We do have a few new pieces in place to help us along the way. Hopefully a new scheme. I don't know if you've heard, Dylan, the scheme's going to be aggressive, right? On defense. First time?
Every D coordinator is attack, aggressive.
Should we remind ourselves how excited we were about Ryan Nielsen at this point last year? Because we were, right? Who's the best offseason addition? Or what's the best offseason addition the Jags have made? Ryan, I guess I'd have to go back and look. Did we actually have him in a poll, do you think, with Brian Thomas Jr.? Or did we have an open-ended question? I feel like Nielsen got an overwhelming amount of support as before the games were played, one of the best additions that this team had made last year. So, hey, look, Anthony Campanile, I hope you are phenomenal. And nothing Ryan Nielsen did has to have any bearing on what Anthony Campanile does with this defense this year, other than hopefully it didn't create any bad habits with these guys. But regardless, got to improve on that 9 turnovers. I believe they will. Starts with the pass rush. Let's just knock that one out, Dylan, without further ado. Who do you have? Give me your 1 through 4 rankings of the AFC South and why you feel that way.
As a team?
Yeah, for today's, we're going the edge rush.
Okay.
Right? Where do the 4 teams rank in the AFC South compared to each other?
Total, I'd say Houston's 1.
Okay.
I'd go Jacksonville 2, Indy 3, Tennessee 4.
That's what I had as well. I feel like, beyond the ESPN ranking, Danielle Hunter has been one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League for a while. Now, I think he's got like 5 double-digit sack seasons. Will Anderson had 11 sacks last year. Danico Autry's not chopped liver, right? And he's the first guy off the bench there. And so, yes, I agree with you. Houston at the top over Jacksonville. A little bit more consistency from their top guys than we've seen. Josh Allen's had some peak seasons, but so has Danielle Hunter. And, most people, as you saw in that ESPN piece, would take Will Anderson over Trayvon Walker. Whether they're right or not, that's the kind of the consensus feel right now. You look at the Indianapolis Colts, this is more projection on Laiatu Latu, right? The guy they drafted out of UCLA last year, who they hope is going to be their number one guy. They have Kwity Paye there. It's not an exceptional edge rush group with Indianapolis, I don't think. But if you look at Tennessee, it's, what do you got here? And keeping in mind, not everybody plays the same style of defense. So you're talking about outside linebackers a little bit more in a 3-4 defense here. But Arden Key, is he their top guy as an outside guy? Sebastian Joseph Day? I mean, Arden Key is a nice player. He was a good player here. Draymond Jones, they're okay. I think those two are kind of interchangeable. They're not a team, either one of them, that really scares me. I think there's a huge gulf. There's a bigger gulf, in my opinion, between Jacksonville and Indy and Tennessee than there is between Houston and Jacksonville. If I don't know if you'd agree with that, but that's how I see it. So I've got Houston at the top. So does Dylan. You can vote in today's polls presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. We've got them out there in the Twitter sphere for you. Let's get an early look at how we feel about the edge rushers. Let's see what we got today. The best edge rush situation, 60% saying it's the Jags. Not greatly surprised there. Texans pulling about 38%. And the last couple of smidges, about 1.5% each for the Colts and the Titans. They've probably each gotten like 2 votes in this poll to this point in time. So when we come back, we'll take a look at D-tackle, linebacker. We'll run through all the defenses in the AFC South and give you our opinion of where the Jags stack up with the teams that they're going to play twice a year this year. Even though our edge rushers are not going up against theirs head-to-head, still matters when you talk about the overall depth of talent with these football teams. Mike Dempsey and Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for my friends at Dandy Foods, locally owned and operated by the Thompson family. Since when? How about 1956? Look, I've talked about Dandy's fine products for over a decade now. I personally have enjoyed them for a lot longer than that. Dandy, to me, is the perfect go-to when you're in a hurry, you don't want the hassle of a long wait, and you really can't go wrong. A pretty good value compared to the drive-thru as well. Fast, fresh, always tasty, waiting for you in the cold case at convenience stores all over town. As a matter of fact, right down from the Jacksonville Zoo. Try the Sunoco station on Heckscher Drive, San Marco Foods. They have a great selection of Dandy sandwiches, whether it's a monster classic combo or a delicious meatball sub. You'll find plenty of choices that'll satisfy even the heartiest of appetites. So for fresh, quality products, there's only one name you need to know in Duval, folks. That's Dandy. And when you're hungry, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. And do it today.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. The home of the home team you grew up with.
What a tremendous play by Fred Taylor. What an embarrassment for the Miami Dolphins.
1010XL.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on 1010XL. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $250,000 in cash and prizes available, with payouts up to 20 places. Of course, there's great prizes for lady anglers, and bring along your junior anglers as well. Register today at kingfishtournament.com. Even if you're not on the water, spectators will enjoy fun exhibits, food, kids' activities, and a fireworks display at the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, Mike Dempsey, Dylan Denmark, Jaguars Today rolling on, taking a look at the teams in the AFC South and how they compare to each other defensively, at least in our opinions here. We'll probably get to, before we get out of here, CBS Sports, Josh Edwards' thoughts on the biggest remaining need for every AFC team. We'll go through the division there as well. So put it on your thinking caps. How do you feel about the current state of affairs for the Jacksonville Jaguars and their needs? As is the case on Monday, Dylan, the first poll we put, I link all the polls together, right? So if you click on it, if you just click and vote, you're not going to see the other polls. But if you click on the actual tweet, you'll see all the other polls connected to it. And for whatever reason, same thing happened on Monday. First poll that's out there, because all you have to do is vote, right, and move on, and you may not read anything at the bottom where it says click through. So that's getting by far the most votes. And we figured we'd put defensive end there because that's where the Jags have a strong duo. The next two polls basically have no one voting on them, right? Like literally like 20 people. And then it's like 4 times as many already on the last two. I don't know what that is.
I think it's because nobody cares about the 2 middle ones that you're talking about.
You think so?
That's probably what it is.
I don't know, man. If you're going to bother to vote and click through and vote on like polls 4 and 5, you're not just going to go Jags straight down the line or something.
Or it's more of you're just scrolling for 0.2 seconds. You're like, let me see, Jags.
Maybe so. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's just a little curiosity to me is all the way some of that plays out. But let's take a look at defensive tackles here. You led off on edge rushers. I'll go first on defensive tackles. And I think this might be an upset. I'm not sure who you have, but I think a lot of people on the strength of arguably the best defensive tackle in the division in Jeffrey Simmons would have the Tennessee Titans at the top of the list. I don't, however. If you look at the total package of what Indianapolis puts out there, again, not that this is gospel, but referencing the ESPN voting around the league of executives, coaches, what have you. They voted Jeffrey Simmons as the 4th best defensive tackle in the league, but they voted DeForest Buckner of the Colts number 8. But I think where they really then come up is Grover Stewart is kind of an underrated player, I think, playing next to him. I like him a lot. And Neville Gallimore, younger guy coming in from the Rams. I feel like the combination of Buckner and Stewart, though, edges out Tennessee at the top because I think there's still a lot of projection going on with Tavondre Sweat, who they drafted in the 2nd round last year. But those are close. Indy and Tennessee, to me, clearly have the best rooms in the division at the defensive tackle position. That obviously doesn't guarantee you a success in the win-loss column. I put the Jags at 3, and this is in the hopes that we get a bounce-back season from Eric Armstead playing there full-time, and he gets back to what he was. Not, the top of the top defensive tackles in the league, but I would say like a top 20 type defensive tackle. I love the potential and the upside of Mason Smith. He's got to realize it, though. There's no question about that. But Devon Hamilton, Jordan Jefferson is an interesting space eater in there as well. We'll see how these guys all shake out. And the Houston Texans coming in last year, in large part, Dylan, because they're starting Foley Fatukasi.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just a guy. Yeah. Right? Totally just a guy here. Tim Settles, their other defensive tackle. Now, Sheldon Rankins has been a good player in the league, but they signed him fairly recently. He's 31 years old. I don't think he's as good as he used to be. So maybe you could make the argument between Jacksonville and Houston like we did at defensive end, but this is more a battle for 3rd or 4th place. I think the other two are clearly the top 2. What order do you have, man?
I had Tennessee at 1. I just think Jeffrey Simmons is the best interior D tackle in the division. And, if you look at defensive lines, everybody talks about the edge and, getting sacks and all of that is, important. But I think if I were to build a team, I think I would rather have someone that is disruptive in the interior as opposed to having someone that is dominant on the outside. And I think Jeffrey Simmons is that guy for Tennessee. And I mean, for Tennessee on defense, when you're on offense, who else are you going to game plan for that you need to block?
Sure.
And so he's going to get all the attention. He takes on the double teams and opens up everything else for, your linebackers, and you get one-on-ones on the outside with your edge guys. Indy's 2 for me. Butker, mostly known for what he did at San Fran, still a really good player, like you said. And then Jacksonville at 3. This could be the most improved position for Jacksonville from last season to this season. I know everybody's down on Eric Armstead, what he did a year ago. I think that's going to be washed away. I mean, once the season starts, I don't think we're going to be talking about what he was doing last year. And I think he is probably going to be the most improved Jaguar on the team this year. And we're going to see what he was doing in San Fran. He's going to bring that finally here. I mean, this is a guy, Mike, since 2019, almost like every other year, he had double-digit sacks. We keep talking about who's going to be the guy that has, third most sacks on the team. Eric Armstead's done that multiple times, and I feel like we haven't talked about it just because he had a bad year a year ago. And then Mason Smith can only improve. He was a healthy scratch for how many games a year ago? And we expect him to play every game this year. And then Houston down at the bottom, they don't have much move in the interior as, the edge guys, get a lot of love for them in Houston on the outside.
All right, not to throw total cold water on your Eric Armstead love, he's had one double-digit sack season, and it was in 2019.
I thought he had 10. It was like 11.
He had 10 in that 1 year, and that was it. That was the 1 year that he had double digits since 2019, playing in 16, 17, 9, and 12 games with San Francisco in those 4 years. He had 3.5. He had 6 in 17 games, which is his second best in his career. He had none in 2022 when he played 9 games. He had 5 then in a bounce back in 12 games. So
at least 5 sacks. That's what I meant to say.
He's Purdue. I'm not saying, look, we'll take 5 or 6 sacks out of a defensive tackle. I'm not arguing that. I just don't want to represent that he's been,
Yeah, every year he had 10 sacks in 2019 and 6 in 2021, and then 2023 had 5. That's what I meant to say.
All right, so yes, he definitely has been 5 or more 3 times in his career. But again, that big 10-sack season, that's a little ways in the rearview mirror right now. All right, well, let's put defensive tackle to rest for now. And how did you order the linebacker rooms in the AFC South?
This was a little bit tougher. I had Houston by far and away the best, and then I had Jacksonville at 2, and then I had Houston 3, Tennessee 4. I think Houston's the best by far and away. I don't think there's much of a dispute there in the division for linebacker. Jacksonville at 2, just because Foye has been so productive at Mike. The only question is, who else is going to be productive this season? Is Devin Lloyd going to finally take a step up this year and be the guy that the Jags expected to be in the first round? Is it going to be Muma? Maybe one of the 2 guys that they drafted this season. Are they going to emerge halfway through the year and be productive? Because I feel like it's Foye and then a bunch of question marks outside of him.
Yeah, I want to say Jacksonville at 1 here, but you're probably right with Houston when you look at the depth of guys. Like they've got right now, EJ Speed, who played very well for the last few years for Indianapolis, is a backup with the Texans right now. Like EJ Speed, we'd be going, hey, man, we added a really nice piece to this linebacker core, and Houston is looking at him as a guy coming off the bench, at least at the moment. I would take Foye over Azeez Al-Shaair for a number of reasons, but I really would. Right? I think Foye, in terms of being an off-ball linebacker, is just rock solid. But Christian Harris on the weak side, Henry Tua, and then with EJ Speed on the bench, like with the Jags, it's tough, Dylan, because you look at most projections of their starting lineup, they're just listing 2 linebackers, right? And so now if you're PFF, and you're in love with Devin Lloyd and whatever metrics tell you that he was the 7th best linebacker in the league, because that's where PFF ranked him last year, then you're going to maybe argue for Jacksonville at the top of the heap right here. I think this is closer than you've played it out because, again, the style the Jags are going to play is not going to be – I think you're going to see a lot of nickel, right? So I don't think you need to worry about your 4th linebacker nearly as much, and you start to get into – special teams and all the impact that you have there. And also, where does Gardeck fit in? Does he even make this team? We talked about kind of listing him as a defensive end. I think of him more as an edge rusher, even though he'll be listed as a linebacker. But Ventrell, Muma, who is even the 3rd best linebacker on this team right now, or who will prove to be? Will it be Kaiser? You got Jalen McLeod there. Those are basically the guys that are going to make this roster this year. I put Indianapolis at 3. Did you have Indy at 3 as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I had Indy at 3. Zaire Franklin, really nice player. They did lose EJ Speed. People are really high on Jalen Carleys, the weak side linebacker who's taken over for Speed, but I haven't seen enough from him to really think he's going to be an impact player or know enough to speak intelligently about it. But you look at Tennessee, and there's just not a whole lot there that moves the dial for me, all right? Cody Barton is a solid guy. He's not Zaire Franklin, who I believe led the league in tackles last year for the Colts. He's a solid player. He's probably the best off-ball linebacker that the Tennessee Titans have, which is why Tennessee is, they're not faring well in these rankings this week, and which is why not a lot is expected of them in 2025. So Jacksonville or Houston, probably Houston by a nose for me. Dylan's got Houston far out in front at the linebacker spot. Indy and Tennessee in that order at 3 and 4. What about the secondary? We'll get into that coming up in hour number 2. Safeties, corners. We know the safety room is in flux. Does that mean it's bad here in Jacksonville? Kind of hard to tell potentially. And the one spot that they're getting a lot of love right now in our 5 polls is cornerback. And I think that's, the hope that Travis Hunter is going to come in and be an impact player, that Tyson Campbell is going to stay healthy and live up to. You do have Jarian Jones in the mix there. They're currently leading our Jaguars Today poll with 56% of the vote for the best cornerback room in the AFC South. So we'll get into that, those other position groups in the secondary as we go along. But what was it? PFF did the overall secondary rankings, and the Jags came in, I think, 13th, which is not horrible, and that's combining safeties and corners. But the issue, Houston and Indy both ahead of them. So, in the one spot where so far in some of these consensus across the board rankings of different position groups where they started to fare a little bit better and still overall third in their division, at least according to the folks over at Pro Football Focus. How do we see it? We'll tell you about that as we get into hour number 2. We'll go around the league with a couple of headline stories and see what CBS thinks is the biggest remaining need for not only Jacksonville, but the other teams in the AFC right now. Mike Dempsey and Dylan Denmark here with you. This is Jaguars Today, halfway home on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. Love them. Got them in my house, replaced all my windows, had that broken window. It was the impetus to get off my butt and head over to the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway, just north of Bay Meadows. Super intelligent staff. They know their products inside and out. They know the business inside and out. They're going to be able to help you with your project. And the great thing right now, 0% financing for 60 months. That's 60 months, 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Stop by their showroom like I did or visit Pella online at PellaJacks.com. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
It's Awaken 180 Weight Loss Wednesday.
On Jaguars Today, Tom McManus straps on the helmet and joins Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl for the new Helmets and Heels. New attitude, new time. Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL. Tommy Mack makes his Helmets and Heels debut July 14th.
Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad in every bite. It's quick and delicious, so why wait? Come taste the best chicken salad today at Town Center, Durban Park, Butler Point, and now in Ortega Park. Chicken Salad Chick.
You wouldn't drive your car 50,000 miles without an oil change. So why are you ignoring your septic tank? That thing's working around the clock, taking every flush, shower, and mystery casserole down the line. Eventually, it fills up. And when it does, you do not want to find out the hard way. Don't wait for the stink. Septic tanks need to be pumped every 3 to 5 years. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule your septic pump out with the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Need the right tools for the job without the full-time price tag? Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach is what you need when you need it. From heavy machinery for commercial projects to weekend projects at the house, we've got you covered. We've been serving jacks for 50 years. Visit Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach, just behind Aqua East Surf Shop, or call today. We also have event rentals too. Tucker Equipment Rentals. Tools you need without the price tag of purchasing.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Maxed out on credit card, struggling with high interest debt? you could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T here, and I know that getting into an accident is stressful, but getting the proper care doesn't have to be. That's why I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. Even if you're at fault, your insurance covers you. And remember, you have the right to choose your own doctor. Even a minor accident can cause whiplash for years if it goes untreated. So don't wait. Call the auto accident experts at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Your recovery starts today.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Jacksonville Hicken here. I've been around the block or two, and Checkmate Coatings is who I'd call for my own place. They're my new MVP for stunning, long-lasting floors.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coatings. No massive overhead means top prices on top-quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios, too.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com today. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Send your favorite person a sweet summer surprise today from Kuhn Flowers, creating memories for over 70 years. I'm RJ, and it's just so easy. Order online at KuhnFlowers.com, Jacksonville, and Ponte Vedra. This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. After the Orlando Magic welcomed their two newest members of their 2025 draft class, both Jace Richardson and Noah Pinda will be getting to work right away, as the two are going to be part of the team's Las Vegas Summer League roster. The Magic will have just one game on the ESPN family of networks. However, they'll also have a lot of early times for the league's summer showcase. They will begin tomorrow against the Sacramento Kings at 7:30 p.m. You can catch the action on NBA TV. Florida State baseball freshman first baseman Miles Bailey has been named a freshman first-team All-American. It is the third organization to bestow Bailey with an all-freshman All-America accolades after Perfect Game recognized him on June 10th and Baseball America honored him on June 20th. Right now, 83 degrees at 10:56. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Dylan, it's time for a little bit of a shake-up around these parts. I feel like that's in the offing right now.
I mean, I just go where the wind goes.
You just show up and hope the code still works.
We get a schedule. I'm working this show. All right, I'll show up at this time.
Happy to do it. Yes. Happy to do it. So you're still doing Blue and Hacker on the nights when they're both here, right? And sometimes they're off, but whatever. So you're a split shift guy like me. But the times there are changing. I haven't said a word because, you don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to get out ahead of things too much. But you may have heard the promo, and it's been running, I don't know, a couple days now, that Helmets and Heels shaking up the lineup. Tom McManus is joining. I guess he'll represent more the helmets portion of that, right? But we're nothing changing on the drill. Nothing changing on Jaguars Today, the Frangie Show, Baloo Hacker, as far as I know, right? But XL Primetime next week is flip-flopping time slots, and they'll be on Joe C., Matt Hayes, and Big Sirs from noon to 2 weekdays here on 1010XL. And then Tommy Mack joins Helmets and Heels with Lauren and Taylor beginning Monday as well, and that'll go all throughout. I mean, that's the new move, so it's not like a temporary thing. But McManus will still do Fridays with Jaguars Today, and that includes this Friday coming up. But he will still be a part of the Jaguars Today lineup on a weekly basis throughout the season. He's the third host that is on year-round with us, and that's not going to change. So that is in the offing here on your 1010XL dial, so don't tell me that you have not been warned, all right? All right, let's get to a few items happening around the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
We're talking it might have been yesterday, man. I mean, they all bunched together for me, Dylan. It was yesterday, right, with the top 5, the do-overs for the Jags, and I focused in part on the 2020 first round. And, you could have had the combination of CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson. Maybe the smarter combination would be Tristan Wirfs and Justin Jefferson. Obviously, we can't go back in time and do that. The Bucs, though, will apparently start the season without their all-pro left tackle, Tristan Wirfs, who underwent surgery on his right knee yesterday and will likely miss at least the first couple games of the regular season, according to Rick Stroud, who covers the Bucs. He aggravated it in the offseason, and he missed only one game last year, but the Bucs are anticipating being without him to start the year. That's a big loss.
Yeah, he also said in the tweet he will likely begin the season on the physically unable to perform list.
So what is that, like minimum 6 games?
I think so, yeah.
Yikes, man. I mean, that's a good thing we didn't draft him, right? Oh, never mind. We got a lot out of C.J. Henderson instead.
And I think they play Houston week 2. So they got. So
that doesn't help us.
No, it doesn't. I just couldn't find it. So someone said that.
All you got to do is bring up the Bucs schedule and dang it. Well, that doesn't mean they can't beat them, but you always love when your opponents have it stuck to them a little bit. Can Houston have some guys suspended? Week 2. All right. Well, hey, so they're without Tristan Wirfs, and the Texans still probably have the worst offensive line. Would you rather not have Tristan Wirfs or have to play Cam Robinson? I don't know. Cam's not that bad, but it's just I want him to be now. I just absolutely want him to be at this point. The Dallas Cowboys have Dak Prescott back, and he says he is a full go for training camp. He had that significant hamstring injury last year. He talked up the connection he's already building with George Pickens, which is interesting as well. To add to CeeDee Lamb, Pickens will benefit from the attention paid to Lamb, you would think, and we'll see. Dak Prescott, pretty good value in fantasy drafts right now, Dylan. Among quarterbacks, he's the 14th off the board.
Can he stay healthy?
Well, that's a big question,
the
right?
only question.
But you know what? There's always another quarterback fish in that sea, man, and you should be drafting upside at the position, and Dak probably has top 5 upside. I don't think they're going to throw as much with Schottenheimer in charge as they have in years past, but they may have to. That running game, a little bit nondescript right now. In the piece we referenced from Maurice Jones-Drew, where he ranked the top running back on each team, number 32 in the league is Javonte Williams, the presumptive starter for the Cowboys. Now, is it going to end up being Javonte? Could it be Miles Sanders at some point? They drafted Jaden Blue out of Texas, so a bit of a mishmash backfield, kind of like Jacksonville has to some degree here right now. Let's see what else. ESPN re-signed Dan Orlovsky to a multi-year deal. Orlovsky's Emmy nominated as an analyst on NFL Live and a Monday Night Football analyst on Select Games, so he is locked in with ESPN for the foreseeable future. Let's put it that way. All right. Let's put off on getting to corner and safety in the AFC South since we're on a few other things right here. And I referenced the MJD piece. Again, this is his personal opinion, and you would think he would have the best, strongest, most clear opinions on the position that he played, obviously. I mean, doesn't mean he's limited to that, but we definitely listen when MJD talks running backs. And what he did was he ranked the best player, the starter, the top guy on each team, and ranked them 1 through 32. Taking Travis Etienne as the Jag starter, which I think is the fair thing to do right now at this point. Not a shock that he's got Saquon at the top of the list. Have you studied this list at all? Have you gone through it?
I'm trying to search it right now.
All right. Well, just don't do that. Let's see how many you can get. Give me running backs that you think will appear in the top 10, and you get 3 strikes on this. And I've given you Saquon Barkley as the gimme.
Yeah, Saquon, Bijan.
Let me scroll through and see where he's got Bijan at 5. Okay.
Okay. I'll go. I will say Genty. Everybody's pretty high on him.
Not Genty.
In the top 10.
That's a strike. Because remember, I told you earlier, Omarion Hampton is his top-ranked rookie.
Right.
He's got Hampton at 13. Where's he got Genty on this? He's got Genty at 17. Tell me there's 16 starting backs you take over Ashton Genty.
I mean, and Genty's expected to be the guy that's going to get all the workload in Oakland. I mean, at least that's the presumptive.
You don't think Raheem Mostert's going to cut into him significantly? I don't either. All right, who else you got? That's 1 strike for your top 10.
I had Saquon. I had Bijan.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go him. Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor is number 7, according to MJD.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs is number, 3. Got him at 3.
Derrick Henry.
Number 2.
Okay.
So, again, this is not necessarily straight fantasy production.
Right.
I mean, but all these guys are pretty good fantasy players by virtue of, the position they play and the work that they're getting. But, all right, who else you got?
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey is 8.
Okay, so how many is that? 1, 2,
presuming
3,
he's
4,
healthy,
5, 6,
wasn't
7.
last year, played 4 games.
I'll go Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving, nice call. You got him at 10.
Okay.
Took Bucky Irving in a draft this morning, as a matter of fact. He's got him at 10, averaged 5.4 yards a carry last year. Gibbs had 5.6.
I'll lean on the ESPN rankings. I'll have Joe Mixon in the top 10.
Joe Mixon comes in at number, where is he? I could have sworn I just saw him a second ago. I could just do Control F, and he's at 12. All right, so he's just outside, which I do think Mixon had a solid year last year. He's over 4 yards a carry, 11 rushing touchdowns. But, we'll see if he's able to maintain that, how much Nick Chubb cuts into it. But regardless, that's 2 strikes for you. Who else you got?
I'm going to go A-Chain.
And then that's where the game ends, right there.
Stop it. So
he has got Devon Achane. Here's what MJD says about Devon Achane. He says, built on his rookie season in terms of total yards, but was far less efficient. Left a lot of yards on the table. Did have a much bigger role in the passing game, nearly tripling his catch total. If the Mike McDaniel offense continues to lack a true identity as it did last season, we could see more of the same production. But if Tua stays healthy and the unit gets back to his explosive ways, Achane's per-touch averages could skyrocket, making my placement of him in these rankings look silly. The ranking, 27th. 27th. Now, again, can he do everything, right? Achane's a great space player. You can move him out in the slot. He's not going to pick up the tough yard.
No, he's not going to be. He's not your goal line guy.
No, he's not really your short yardage guy. He's not going to move the chains like that. But, I mean, if you're averaging, you average 4.5 yards a carry is way over that as a rookie. But regardless, so the game ends there. Here's the MJD top 10. Saquon, you had Derrick Henry, you had Jahmyr Gibbs. Josh Jacobs came in at 4 for him, had 1,300-plus yards last year with 15 rushing touchdowns. Bijan, Kyron Williams. You had Taylor, you had McCaffrey. He has Aaron Jones at 9.
Oh, come on, man.
Which is a little interesting. He did average 4.5 yards a carry now.
He is good, but top 10 good, that's a little stretch.
He caught 51 passes, had 1,100 yards. Pretty productive year last year. And then Bucky Irving, I might have put James Cook, based on the strength of last year, higher. He's got him at 11. Anyway, let's get to ETN. Obviously, not going to be at the top. I'm going to do this way. Let's count from the bottom up. All right? Oh, no, that's always a bad sign. I told you Javonte Williams of the Cowboys. He's got a 32. This one, I disagree with a little bit here. Chase Brown of the Bengals at 31? Really? 31? He averaged 4.3 yards a carry, which is not eye-popping, but is a lot better than ETN did. 7 rushing touchdowns, 54 catches, so very productive in the receiving game with another 4 receiving touchdowns. Only lost 1 fumble, so 11 TDs on the year on 229 rushing attempts, 54 catches. I think he probably should be a little bit higher. He went with Jerome Ford as the starter in Cleveland. I saw a report yesterday. He may open the season as the starter. That's a mess of a backfield right there. Quinshon Judkins is probably going to be the leading rusher when it's all said and done. But Ford's been there. Ford average, what do you think Jerome Ford averaged per carry last year?
Well, he had a couple of long runs.
Yeah, he only had 104 rushes, so that can skew it.
I'll say he had 3.3.
Bump that. 5.4.
Dang.
5.4. That's 104 carries, so that can be skewed a little bit. He came in at 30. 29th ranked starting running back, according to MJD, is Jalen Warren of the Steelers. I think Caleb Johnson might end up being the guy, but I think it's fair to put Warren as, a veteran in there. They play different roles. I think Johnson's going to be more the first and second down guy. Jalen Warren will be your third down pass catching back. And then there's Travis Etienne, 28th in the league. Remember, ESPN's rankings of running backs last year had Etienne at 10, coming off a double-digit touchdown season. Here's what MJD wrote. By the way, 150 attempts, so not that much more than Jerome Ford, right? I mean, 46 attempts more, but he averaged 3.7 yards a rush. 558 rushing yards for MJD. Now, this, again, you may say I like Tank Bigsby more. Basil Tutin's going to take over. I think it's fair to say right now, if you're filling out a depth chart for the Jaguars today, subject to change, Etienne's at the top of that depth chart. 3.7 yards a carry, bro. Caught 39 balls. Had 2 total touchdowns on the season. Obviously, lost only 1 fumble. That's a pretty big one to lose in the opener. Here's what MJD wrote about the Jags' presumptive starter. Etienne's decline continued last year as he was outproduced by Tank Bigsby, leading to plenty of trade rumors this offseason. Liam Cohen dismissed those rumblings last month. It doesn't mean Etienne's back is not against the wall. He's under immense pressure to perform, with Bigsby threatening his position as RB1, with the Jags drafting a pair of running backs in Basil Tutin, who has upside in this scheme, and LaKent Allen. There are several scenarios that end with a player not named Etienne leading the ground attack for Jacksonville. I think he still has juice left in those legs. Today, I ask you, Dylan Denmark, who has the most rushing yards for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year? I think we did this poll.
Yeah, we did it about a month or so ago. I'd still, I want to say Tutin, but I think somehow Tank is going to get the most yards throughout the 17 games of the season.
That may be the case. I would probably vote Tutin myself. Not that I expect him to open the season as a starter. Tank Bigsby to score the most touchdowns. And maybe Etienne to, presuming he's on this roster, which I'm still, my personal self, not 100% convinced. It's not inside information. That's just looking at the makeup of this team and what could happen in terms of injuries around the league. And depending on how well these rookies show out in the preseason, can they show good ball security and, more importantly, pass protection ability. But I think right now I'd figure this is a true split backfield. I think I like Tutin for the most rushing yards. I like Bigsby for the most touchdowns. I like Etienne probably for the most receiving yards. Allen could factor in there. They could all factor in. We don't know how this is going to play out along the way. But 28th overall, man, that is, only one spot behind Devon Achane, right? So do we feel better or worse about that? DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco, R.J. Harvey. He's got R.J. Harvey ahead. I don't know if R.J. Harvey is going to be the starter in Denver when they sign J.K. Dobbins. But regardless, in the division, We told you Mixon, what do you have him at? 12. Taylor was 7. Tony Pollard comes in 23rd here, and he's had 3 straight rushing seasons over 1,000 yards. So one man's opinion, but that man knows a little bit about running the football in Maurice Jones-Drew. All right, we'll come back. Dylan and I will get back to the Jaguars and the rest of the AFC South defenses. Where do the secondaries compare? Safety room, cornerback room, stacking up against each other. We'll do that as we continue along. You can vote in all the polls today at MD_1010XL out there on Twitter if you want to get into those as well. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Ready to ride, guys?
Driving all over Duval with sports talk made just for Jacks.
Fasten your seatbelt.
This is 1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
With the 4th of July behind us, we now begin rounding the corner into football season. SEC Media Days will kick off in Atlanta, Georgia on Monday, July 14th. With the Gators carrying high expectations into the season following a strong finish last year, first-team All-American center Jake Slaughter headlined both the Athlon Sports and Walter Camp preseason All-American lists, being selected first-team All-American in both at the center position.
Tired of high energy bills? Well, replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's summer sale. Buy 4 windows or doors and get the 5th one free. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires July 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Awaken 180 weight loss.
Jaguars Today, Wednesday.
Yo, ET here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your pool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
Get ready. The Jacksonville Rock Orchestra brings to life the magic of Fleetwood Mac. Like you've never heard it before. A 27-piece symphony fused with a full rock band, performing timeless hits like Rhiannon, Dreams, and You Make Loving Fun. One night only, July 11th at the historic Florida Theater. Get tickets today at floridatheater.com.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and Awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Frank Franzi here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Hal Sutton when he famously said, "Be the right club today"? Well, that's what Coil Fencing delivers. The right fence today. And they've been delivering the right fencing for both commercial and residential properties for nearly 100 years. If you're in the market for a new fence, call Coil & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament with over $450,000 in cash and prizes. Fun starts on July 13th with the inaugural Kickoff Beach Tournament that has a $50,000 cash first place prize. There's also a junior offshore tournament and one for the lady anglers. Best of all, the winner of the General Offshore Tournament takes home a Contender 28T with twin Yamaha 200s. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Now, somebody on the text line, we're talking about those running back rankings, said, and ... Aaron Jones made another top 100 this season. I'll be honest, I'm trying my best to keep up with this top 100, but this dribs and drabs stuff. It was bad enough, Dylan, when every week you get another 10, right? They stretched it out for 10 weeks.
Oh, it's different now?
Oh, they're doing 2 a day. 2 players a day, and that's it.
Jeez.
So it's like, all right, are there any Jags in the 90s or 80s? Well, wait a week and find out. You know, I don't know. I what I'm doing right now, I feel like is I'm going to just monitor social media and it will tell me when
that's how I do a lot
Jaguar
of things.
Pops in there, right?
That's the best way to do. You just live your life and then you scroll on Twitter. You're like, oh, Brian Thomas Jr.'s 60th according to the players. And
I mean, they're just definitely, they're looking for clicks. And I get it, right? That's their business to get clicks. They are into they're into the 80s now. I have yet to see a Jag. I would presume we're going to get Brian Thomas Jr. and hopefully Josh Hines Allen in there. I don't think they'll give Trayvon that love. Trayvon doesn't seem to get that national love like we give him here in Jacksonville. And I think he probably should get more. I don't know if he's a top 100 player, but put up a third consecutive double-digit sack season. Maybe that will change moving forward. What else on the text line? Yes, Jaguars Today is you're stuck with us from 10 to noon. That's what it is. We're going to run it back. Same group of in-season co-hosts. As far as I have not been told by any of them that they're not available to come back. DG on Mondays, David Garrard, Jeff Lageman. Check the tape Tuesdays. Ozier for the second hour on Wednesdays. D-Rock for the Breakfast Bowl Thursday edition, and Tommy Mack stays in his spot there on Fridays. And as we mentioned, joining Helmets and Heels beginning next Monday. All right, let's get back to our countdown, Dylan. Let's see. I think it's me batting leadoff here on safeties. We've been alternating on this. So we'll take a look at the secondaries in the AFC South and how they stack up versus one another. At safety, at the top of my list, this is not easy, I felt. I went with Indy. Okay.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
Nick Cross was phenomenal last year. was a tackle machine, was a guy making plays. I think Cam Bynum is a solid player, but to me, this is more about Nick Cross as one of their two starters there. You go, again, I leaned heavily on the starters as opposed to the bench depth because, let's be honest, Hunter Wohler, 7th-round pick, as their backup strong safety. I don't know a thing about Hunter Wohler, for instance. So I had them. You're surprised. Well, it'll be interesting to see who you've got there. I've got Houston at number 2. Let me make sure I've got their depth chart ready to bring up right here. Houston at 2. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, very good player. He's a pain in the butt, but when you got him for the short term, he probably will stay on his good behavior. Jimmy Ward is a nice piece in that mix. Kalen Bullock, they're vets who've been around, not going to be surprised by a whole lot. Not a good room from my perspective for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have Tennessee 3rd. Amani Hooker and Xavier Woods as your starters there. Kevin Winston, who was a guy that we paid a lot of attention to in the draft process out of Penn State. Wouldn't have been shocked if the Jags had gone in that direction. And again, a lot of projection with him, but there is with Caleb Branshaw as well. We haven't seen him play a bit in the National Football League. This is a position of concern to me still. Darnell Savage, seen projections where he's a starter, seen projections where he doesn't make the 53-man roster. Okay? Andrew Wingard, great. He's had a nice offseason. Dewey has been basically a special teamer, role player, backup player most of his career. I hope he can be more than that. Eric Murray, I feel like we got a guy that most Texan fans were happy to see get let go by the Texans, and he is seemingly locked in as a starter. You can talk about, other guys like I mentioned Ransaw, but Antonio Johnson, young player, they haven't shown anything yet. Is there some potential there? Yes. I guess I'm going on more proven productivity. So I got Indy, Houston, Tennessee, Jacksonville in that order. How do you have it?
For the safety position?
For the safety position.
Yeah, for the safety position, I had Houston 1, Indy 2, Tennessee 3, and Jacksonville 4. I had Jacksonville last just because I have no idea what to expect from the position. It could be a multitude of people that could not only start but play throughout the season. And outside of the offensive line for this team, the safety position is that's the biggest question I have for them outside of the offensive line. And defensively, it's the number one question for me. I had Houston at 1 just because I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson, even though, yes, he has a pain in the butt, when he's on your team, you like him. But when he's on the other team, you don't like him as much. I know he's bounced around from Philly to Detroit to New Orleans. Now in Houston, I feel like it's a little bit of an upgrade with him. And then also to another guy, Kamari Lassiter, he was pretty good as a rookie as well. He's included in that secondary. I think Houston has the best secondary in the league. In the division. And I mean, you look at their defense, like in the division, like from what I have so far, it's like I think they have the best DNs. I think they got the best linebacking core, the best safety. It's a pretty good recipe for success. If you want to win a division, and on top of you just got some good news within the last 20 minutes. Tristan Wirfs not playing for the first couple of weeks,
right?
And now Cam Robinson and whoever else that playing at tackle is going to have to block Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. Good luck to you.
Yeah, no, they've got an outstanding defense. There's no question about that. We haven't even gotten a cornerback there. I think this is similar to some other spots here. There's some disagreement in us on who's the top, but I feel like those are the top two, right? And I feel like, again, there's less separation between Indy and Houston and Indy than there is between those two and Tennessee and Jacksonville. I think there's a bigger gap between the top 2 and 3 and 4 than there is between the top couple. So that brings us to the cornerback position. We'll see if we agree on this as well. How do you order the AFC South cornerback room?
This is easy for me. Stingley, I think, is the best corner in the league. I keep saying the league. In the division. Over Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell's had injury questions. If he plays a full season, we'll see and reassess. But I think Houston has the best corner position. I'm going to say Jacksonville, too. This is kind of forecasting, hoping this happens. Tyson Campbell is healthy this season. This is mixed in depending on, I don't know how much Travis Hunter plays. If Travis Hunter plays more than we expect at corner, which I think most people believe right now that he's going to play full-time offense and play sparingly on defense. What that percent is, we don't know. I think if Travis Hunter plays, I would say half the snaps on defense, at least, after week 6, week 7, I think this cornerback room can be really good. I think that Travis Hunter is a better corner than receiver. His instincts are just they're insane from what he did in college. A couple plays he made. The first game when he was at Colorado, when they played TCU, that pick he made at the goal line, when they played Central Florida in the middle of the year last year. I think Travis Hunter's a better corner. It's just how many games is he going to play on the outside as compared to Jarian Jones. So I think Jacksonville's 2, Indy 3, and Tennessee's last.
All right. Part of the reason, and I agree with you on the order, but part of the reason I had Houston lower on the safety rankings and have them number 1 on the cornerback rankings, Kamari Lassiter's playing corner for that team. All right. So Jalen Petrie, who has been a super high-end productive safety for a couple of his first 3 or 4 years in the league, was really stuffed the box score, is listed right now as their nickel corner. So if you're taking him out of the safety room and you look at Stingley and Lassiter on the outside and Petrie as your nickel, with C.J. Gardner-Johnson making that move of Petrie out of the strong safety spot viable, I think that makes it an easy win for them at cornerback as well. I agree with you. Stingley best in the division. I do have Jacksonville second. Some of that is the hope and projection of adding Travis Hunter, but it's not like you're like, all right, Caleb Ransaw going with pick, what was he, 88 or whatever it was. This was a guy who everyone said in Travis Hunter was the best corner. If he was just a corner, he'd be the best in the league. I'm with you. How much is he going to play? Tyson Campbell can play at a high level. Note the Minnesota game and his coverage of Justin Jefferson. He's also a hamstring injury waiting to happen. Inconsistency has been there with him. I think the talent is there. Will he put it all together this year? And then, you throw in a guy like Jarian Jones. I think the Jags have some good options at these other corner spots. Like, we know more about Monteric Brown and DeAndre Prince, and who knows what the team thinks of them at this moment. But you start getting that deep into the depth charts on these other teams, and unless you're following those secondaries on a nearly daily basis, hard to know who are the guys on the rise and not. Indianapolis, nothing super special. Charvarius Ward needs to bounce back. He had a bad year last year. He's been ranked as a top 10 corner at other times. Jalen Jones was a late-round rookie in 2023. He's played okay. Kenny Moore's a pretty good player as their nickel corner. Tennessee is fairly nondescript at the cornerback positions. L'Jarius Sneed is a big name. He did not have a good year last year. So he and Charvarius Ward kind of in the same category, proven guys who took a step back. Will they step back up? So maybe they could improve their ranking as the year goes on. But Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, and Tennessee in that order from me as well. When we come back on the other side, we'll take a look at where the polls stand for what they're worth today. When you do multiple polls, you're not going to get that kind of same feedback. Somebody did ask on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, when will FanCam be serving up the chili? I have not gotten the official word from FanCam, but I'm presuming it's 2 weeks from today. Man, that's going to be honest quick, right? That's the first open training camp practice, and that's generally when FanCam brings out the, I don't know, that kind of thing. He brings out the pot of chili, serves over 200 bowls of that. So, yes, that is kind of, in many ways, the official kickoff to the 2025 season that I anticipate will be July 23rd and July 24th. Both those days are open, but FanCam will be out there on the 23rd, I would think. And then one more just on the secondary, Dylan, since we're talking about it. Our man, Bush Drive Rich, on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, calling you Claw Daddy, because you're the White Claw. He says, I disagree with you. I think safety, you're talking about Eric Armstead. You didn't say position group. You said you think Eric Armstead may be the most improved player on the team. He thinks safety is going to be the most improved position group. I hope so, because we don't have a super high opinion of him right now. Cisco leaving, not going to blow as many coverages. Andrew Wingard picking up where he left off before getting hurt. Proven safety free agent signing. I don't know. Eric Murray is, We'll see. I mean, he's proven that he's a safety. Yes, and he's proven that he's started games in the league. But again, we thought Darnell Savage might be a player last year, and maybe he still turns out to be. But you can find those roster projections that don't have him making the final 53. So I think it's a grab bag right now, and you're hoping that 2 or 3 guys emerge as your clear-cut leaders in that room. But, a very heavy lean towards the Texans. I had the Texans here as basically, I'll call linebacker a push, so I'm going to give them a half vote. I had Houston with 2.5 first place, Indy with 2 first place, and the Jags get the other half as they split the linebacker position for me. We'll come back with today's 10-10 take and a few other odds and ends as we get ready to wrap this one up. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL. Wherever you go, we go.
Those are the rules. I didn't make them up.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices to listen anywhere in the world.
Maybe the key to the whole plan. Get it? Got it. Good.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Summertime is busy with graduation parties, summer barbecues, festivities, family gatherings. The month of July, National Carpet Cleaning Month. So Zero Res is offering $45 per room of carpet clean and 20% off air duct cleaning services as well. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call them 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res. It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Hacker here, and guess what my scale reads? 195 pounds. I'm shocked seeing that number, but it's there every month. The weight is staying off after dropping 122 pounds. Absolutely life-changing. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Are you living with diabetic neuropathy? That pain and numbness in your hands or feet? What about chronic knee or shoulder pain? Maybe you've tried various treatments, but they've been ineffective. Now there's a solution. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso specializes in advanced pain management and offers breakthrough neuromodulation treatments for those conditions. His innovative treatments target the source of your pain, offering relief where medications may fall short. All procedures are performed outpatient with no hospitalization required. Just a chance for you to feel and live better. If you want to learn more, Dr. Formoso is hosting free informational classes where he'll explain the benefits of neuromodulation therapies and how they can help eliminate your pain. Spaces are limited, so call to reserve your spot now with offices on the South Side, West Side, and Jacksonville Beach. Relief is possible with Formoso spine and joint pain specialists.
Listen to whatever you like, whenever you want.
I like this.
1010XL on demand. Ad-free shows after the live shows end. Shadowed by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
1010XL is excited to support an evening of all-star fun as comedian David Spade joins MC and Gator basketball great Patrick Young to induct Olympic swimmers Nancy Hogshead and Ryan Murphy, golf legend Jim Furyk, and the iconic Lizard King into the Sawyer Sports Foundation's Jacksonville Sports Hall of Fame, presented by the Nimnick family of dealerships. Saturday, July 26th at the Community First Igloo. For single ticket and table sponsorship, go to JacksonvilleIceman.com.
Duck Rooter. We've seen it all. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Coming soon, Pine Royale, a fully illuminated synthetic par 3 course built for day or night play. Plus a driving range with TrackMan Tech for virtual courses and interactive games. Mini golf, restaurant, and bar all in one place. Whether you're a serious golfer or just here for good vibes and great food, Pine Royale brings fun nonstop. Smash a burger, a bucket of balls, and even a night round under the lights. Grab your clubs, your crew, and your short game. Pine Royale is coming soon off I-295. Learn more at pineroyale.cc.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
We may dig into this a little bit deeper, Dylan, as the week goes along, but I just wanted to touch on quickly the piece over at CBS on the biggest need remaining for every AFC team. All right, so we have talked about a number of position groups, offense and defense, haven't gotten to special teams, where I would presume the Jags would fare very well with Pro Bowlers on the roster. But regardless, they list defensive tackle as the biggest need for the Jaguars, but they do kind of give it an honorable mention in here. Here's what they said. A lot of wish casting in regards to Jacksonville's defensive interior, hoping Devon Hamilton and Eric Armstead return to form, and that second-year defensive tackle Mason Smith builds upon the last campaign. That's not unfair. There may not be many wide receivers duos better in the league than Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas, but the position does not have a lot of talent aside from those two players unless personal stock in Parker Washington bounces back. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Josh Edwards has stock in Parker Washington?
That means he thinks Parker Washington is the third guy for De'Ami Brown.
And that's definitely wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least from everything we've heard so far.
I think there's an argument to be made. De'Ami Brown will end up the second most productive receiver for this football team. Even over Travis Hunter, depending on how it plays out with his playing time. And then they say cornerback's another area where they're relying on young players to continue on an upward trajectory. So those are the position groups that they're not super high on for the Jags, defensive tackle being the top of their list right there. For Tennessee, it's wide receiver. Not shocking, right? We went through that depth chart on Monday. Linebacker, another one. Houston, interior offensive line, held that entire offensive line. And for Indy, interestingly enough, they put linebacker. I think Indy's linebacker room is okay. Zaire Franklin is outstanding, led the league in tackles. And again, Jalen Carley's, I don't know a lot about him, but just reading what the Indy reporters have been saying about him, they think he's in for maybe a breakout season in his second year. We'll find out. But I can understand it's unproven. But anyway, just you can check that over CBS Sports and see if you agree or disagree with what they say. Maybe we'll go a little bit deeper on some of the other teams as the week goes along. Don't we fire up today's 10-10 take? Here it comes.
10.
There it is.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, today we're going to hand the 10-10 take basically to FanCam. FanCam is checking in on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines this morning because he heard the bat signal or saw the bat signal go out, or whatever the case may be. Cam, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Duval.
Duval, right back at you, buddy.
Thanks to the Jags for putting out that schedule last night. We're excited. This will be the big 3-0. The chili breakfast turns 30 this year, so you might have a couple surprises coming as well.
Surprises? Man, I hope
Yep. One of our longest-running supporters, that guy with Jaguars Today, that svelte Mike Dempsey, has, right as usual, might just get a bag of steaks like he's been asking for.
What? Bag of steaks? That sounds like the greatest thing in the world. What'd you get at the store? Bag of steaks? I don't know, man. You've done me right, Cam. You've done shrimp in the past. You've done ribs. You've done all kinds of things. I appreciate it. We support you because you support the team. And so 2 weeks from today then, right? That July 23rd, was I correct about that?
You nailed it. 2 weeks from today, we'll be serving chili to 150, 200 happy fans, media, and Jaguars administrative personnel, and anybody else that wants a bowl of chili.
By the way, I should note, I believe today, guys, is the first day you can register for tickets to those open training camp practices. I think season ticket holders can hop on at noon, and everybody else at 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, doesn't cost anything to attend these open practices, but you do have to be ticketed, Cam. I know you know that well. But for folks who don't understand the tradition, they're always new listeners, new people, maybe people haven't gone to training camp before. Give us some details on what goes into this chili process that you put together.
Well, we stir-fry every piece of meat in bacon grease with a splash of Cabernet. We try to acquire 13 types of sausage and pork products for the chili, so vegans need not apply.
I think my two favorite phrases now are bag of steaks and stir-fried in bacon grease with a splash of Cabernet. I mean, you know me.
I appreciate it, Mike, and we're looking forward to it. It always is great. And for those that haven't been down to the practice palace, it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's set up perfectly. Huge fans. You're not in the sun. You get to watch the guys run around and just get into the mode for a little bit of football. It's overdue, and I'm excited.
Yeah, get a seat a little bit middle up, right? Because that front couple rows does catch the sun a little bit, Cam. You got to have that veteran savvy and know where to sit. I know you do, but look forward to seeing you, brother. And we'll get out there in a couple of weeks and definitely put a big fat bowl of chili aside for not only myself, but the rest of your Jaguars Today brethren, and I'll make the delivery for you.
You can count on it, and thanks for all your support over the years. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, there he goes, John Port, a.k.a. Fan Cam, and the annual explainer on it. Johnny used to run around. He had a helmet that he attached a camcorder to, and he would go around. He'll tell it better than I could, but he'd go around tailgates before the show, and he had his own website. And he would post the videos there, basically like a slice of life of Jaguar game day. It was phenomenal, right? And he's a phenomenal guy. And so he's been doing this as a tradition now. This will be the 30th year of the habanero chili breakfast. Absolutely free. Jasmine rice, a little bit of jasmine rice, Dylan. I mean, I'm not like a chili aficionado. Like, I like a decent bowl of chili. Fan cams, man, you could eat a gallon of that stuff, and you can guarantee I will not be watching my weight on that Wednesday. Cheat day, that's already circled on the calendar. So,
yeah, I usually like chili when it's cold, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think the last bowl of chili I had was when he brought it into the studio last year on the first day of training camp.
Yeah,
and it's good.
Honestly, I'll tell you, Publix has a decent chili now. That's me. Some people might, I don't know how the chili aficionados think of it. I actually got to judge a chili eating contest once. It was one of my first, pseudo, I don't want to say celebrity, but public figure moments, right?
About as close as you can get to it.
That's something like that, right? And it was me, gosh, I want to say Al Brennan. If people remember WFOY in St. Augustine, Al Brennan was the news guy there forever. I used to work with Al. This is how radio, one of the ways it's changed, Dylan. Everything now, for the most part, is digital, right? We worked in a studio, WFOY, which was right across the lawn from the apartment I lived in. It was like a 45-second walk to work for me when I worked there. But we had vacuum tubes. I mean, this place was built like in the 30s or whatever, and they had like all the old tech. And Al used to have a little ashtray in his office. He had a tiny office, right? It was like 5 feet by 12 feet or something like that, right? It wasn't very big at all. And it was, he kind of stood up there at your workspace and he'd tape all his stuff, and he would smoke whatever brand it was, like Moors or something, those skinny, like dark ones that, just awful, right? And so you walk into this radio studio, there'd be just ashtray full of butts. People are smoking the equipment. Times have changed, young man. Times have definitely changed. I may have been a smoker back in the day, and I may now admit to huffing down a couple of Marlboro Lights when I was sitting at the board twisting the dials back then. And that's what we had. We had the dials. It was
on the brakes.
No, I like on the break. Whatever. There'd be, like you'd board up like the Rush Limbaugh show, right? And so it'd go to break, and you'd be responsible for playing the local commercials in the break, right? And that would be it. And you'd just hit a button, and it'd play it. It'd be like an 8-track tape player is basically what it was. Now everything's digital. Anyway, shout out to Al Brennan, who I believe has left God's green earth several years back. But yes, I got to vote in the chili cook-off. I have no idea if I did well or not. All I'm going to vote for is what I like, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? If it tastes good to me, it's good in my book. And Fan Cam does absolutely indulgent chili. So definitely make your plans to be out there. July 23rd, it'll be open the next day as well. Season ticket member day is the 25th. Then you got Sunday the 27th. First full day in pads on the 28th. And total, if you're a season ticket holder, of 9 opportunities, including the in-game scrimmage, as we've talked about. That's going to be Friday, August 1st. All right, we have pretty much done all the damage that we are not capable of, but are going to have time to get into today. Got plenty more on the docket for tomorrow, but that's then. Right now, we're going to hand it off to Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks, hello.
Hi, Dempsey.
How are you?
Denmark.
I used to wear pink a lot in college, actually. Like, I had pink dress shirts. I used to like to wear dress shirts and shorts. I was a weird guy back in the 80s, you know?
Just then?
No, I'm weird now, but at least
we're all weird.
Like now I'm just like golf shirts and shorts. It's pretty like you can get. The only difference with me is, do I have the sleeves or the short of the long sleeves? That's it.
I mean, I'm no fashionista. I just try to wear pink on Wednesdays.
Is that right?
That's what I do.
Is that a thing? Like, or is that a you thing?
I think it is a thing. Like on Wednesdays we wear pink. I do it because I lost my best friend to breast cancer in 2018, and so for me, ever since then, I just try to wear pink on Wednesdays, and in solidarity.
All right. Well, there you go.
With all those battling and all those who have unfortunately lost the battle.
Absolutely. All right. What is on the docket for Helmets and Heels?
Yeah, so we'll talk some Jaguars football, of course. And then Stuart Mandel joins us at 12:35 from The Athletic to talk college football. So we got a lot coming up. But our fun question today, if the Jaguars make the playoffs, fill in these blanks. Who, what, when, where, why?
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Take it any way you want.
Who? The Jacksonville Jaguars. What? Made the playoffs. When? 2025. All right. I'm sure it'll be more in depth than that.
That's exactly how I'm going to answer it.
Is that right? Well, that's why we leave it open-ended.
Exactly.
You can fill in the blanks yourselves. All right.
Yeah, Taylor, RJ, and I'll have fun with that.
Have a great show.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
I hope so. I'm going to go see my father-in-law right now. He doesn't.
Nice.
It's his birthday tomorrow.
Okay.
But something came up and I can't go see him tomorrow, so I'm going to go pop in and visit him. So don't spoil it over there at Westminster Woods if you see old Mike Nash.
Well, happy early birthday to Mike.
All right. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. I'll pass that along from LB.
That's right.
All right. Have a great show.
Thanks.
Lauren Brooks, thank you very much, is resplendent in pink today. All right. So that'll do it for us. Still in Denmark. We didn't burn the place down. They haven't changed the code on us. We're back again tomorrow here with more Jaguar discussion and frivolity. We got some interesting questions we may be asking you in the next couple of days. And it kind of came up with that one. I thought that was a good one. I'm sure we'll have something along these lines in the next couple of days. You were talking about that rootin' for tootin' kind of thing. Like, if you were going to think about this, if you want to think ahead, if you're going to have a T-shirt slogan for the 2025 Jags, either for the team as a whole or an individual player or coach, What's the slogan you'd come up with? We might make that one of our questions of the day over the next couple of days. Tommy Mack will be in on Friday, but Dylan and I will be back tomorrow with you from 10 to noon. Tony Smith enjoying his week off. This has been Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever.
Jaguars.